Welcome back here once again, everyone. So remember She-Hulk? Well, She-Hulk series is coming out soon on Disney Plus. And when they put out She-Hulk, had some of the worst CGI ever. It looked horrendous. Really, really awful. I've stated before in the video I did for it that She-Hulk doesn't need to be CGI. For the way She-Hulk is supposed to look, you could have simply gotten a rather toned person. Somebody who just, I mean, you could say a bodybuilder, but not somebody who's overly muscular and bulky. Somebody who's just nicely toned, fit, and just have that person play She-Hulk. You could have one person playing Jennifer Walters, somebody else playing She-Hulk. It would work. It worked in the old Hulk TV series. It could work here because of the way She-Hulk looks. She is not gigantic and thing like her cousin. So a person could work in that role, and if you just need to do certain things, you can just use a little camera tricks and one and the other, but it could work depending on what it is you're trying to do. Well, Marvel slash Disney said, don't worry about it. It's just the CGI will be fixed. Don't worry about it. So obviously you're supposed to worry about it because once they say don't worry about it, worry about it. And then the next thing they did, which is Disney's focal point, or should I say Disney's go-to these days, start throwing shade before anything even happened. They came out saying how people hating on She-Hulk because it's a woman and calling people misogynists and sexist and all sorts of different things. Even though nobody has a problem with her with her being a woman because it's the name of the show She-Hulk. Well, what exactly were you expecting? It's a woman. People have a problem with the CGI. That's it, and probably gonna have a problem with the series overall as well. Because if that's the amount of energy they put into the CGI, I could only imagine what they put into the show. But mostly people have a problem with the CGI. That's what it was. But rather than say, well, let's take some criticism and do something better, no, they decide to throw shade one time. However, it seems that Marvel, which is not surprising to me, has become a very stressful place for some of these VFX artists to work because they want to put out a lot of stuff with tight deadlines and not even caring about what they're doing. So here's this article. VFX artists are refusing to work with Marvel due to stress and unrealistic deadlines. VFX artists call Marvel the worst client to work for. Yeah? VFX artists are speaking out against Marvel, with many refusing to ever work with the entertainment giant again. This comes as artists share accounts of unworkable deadlines and an immense pressure leading to stress and unsatisfactory final products. Many have requested to never be put on a Marvel project again, saying that the studio has the worst VFX management out there. Well, it's not surprising because Marvel wants to put out a whole bunch of different mini-series and things with characters that nobody cares about. Rather than you just stick to, let's say, one or two, like in a year, you could probably do about 3 characters that people might actually be interested in. Or you could just do an animated series that will actually be good instead of running on this MCU nonsense that is not working out for anybody. But no, apparently that's a problem. So they're trying to squeeze as much out of these people as possible. So let me go through and see a couple of these, what some of these VFX artists had to say. They posted when they posted on subreddit and whatnot. So in a thread titled, "I am quite frankly sick and tired of working on Marvel shows," Reddit user Independent Ad 419 expressed their frustration with the studio. Marvel has probably the worst methodology of production and VFX management out there. They write, "They can never fix the look for the show before more than half the allocated time for the show is over. The artists working on Marvel shows are definitely not paid equivalent to the amount of work they put in. Now, would that not fix the show, fix the look before half the show? I think because I did a video on how She-Hulk was actually supposed to be bigger than how she is. They wanted her big and muscular, like kind of like what Jason Aaron did. That horrible run in the comics when he made She-Hulk just basically into Hulk, and it doesn't work. This is why I keep saying, if they just stick to the source material, but they don't want to do that, they want to do their own thing. You see what a few others have to say. Others in the replies are quick to agree. On Thor, they ask for a complete mini sequence 2 or 3 weeks before deadline. The next one says, I request to not work on Marvel movies and TV shows. Unfortunately, they're becoming our biggest client. They expect a smorgasbord of options so they can change their mind 3 more times. Those who haven't been able to avoid working with Marvel confirm that it hasn't improved in recent years. I'm on almost 3 years straight of Marvel. Welcome to the 7th level of hell. Another user shares that their time at Marvel has been a black hole of sleep deprivation and eating bad. Another thread from 3 months ago contains even more damning accounts of what it's like to work with Marvel. These allegations were shared when another VFX artist was disappointed to lose out on the opportunity to work with Marvel, something their industry peers reassured them was no great loss. I am on my 3rd Marvel project in a row and literally just woke up at 5:30 a.m. on a Saturday with stress going, I don't want to do this anymore. It's 6 a.m. now and I am making a reel to apply someplace that has projects other than Marvel because I can't do this anymore. Next one put, Marvel has seen grown men punch walls and throw monitors from stress. I broke down a couple of times and have seen the strain it can put on marriages. But hey, the money was fantastic. F Marvel as a client, the credit name is not effing worth it. Next one, it took me over 6 months to recover from WandaVision's crunch. It's not worth it. Not when there's better run projects that look just as good out there. Given how many of these projects are, it's unlikely that there's been a dramatic change in the past few months. It remains to be seen if Marvel addresses these criticisms as they become widely shared online. Yeah, I mean, you got to understand, these deadlines are ridiculous. The amount of things that they want to put out, and I'm telling you, it's show after show after show after show that nothing is good about it. They throw in a bunch of flashy special effects, hoping that, you know, the oohs and the ahs will somehow capture you. But the stories are crap. And most of the times the effects don't look good, they don't work. Case in point, here's Ms. Marvel here. Doesn't work. It does not work because you change the way you want things done. They sent back Ms. Marvel for reshoots. When they first they wanted to send it back for reshoots, so that was more work that these people had to do. And the finished product was terrible. They keep putting out these shows that nobody's interested in because they have made up their minds that, listen, we are going to run this the way we want to run this. We are going to shove characters out there that nobody wants. They appeal to members on Twitter who don't support anything and figure it's going to be what it is. People will take a look at these things initially, but you will see these things drop because a lot of people are getting Marvel fatigue. You can't keep putting out rubbish and expect people to like it. Your last movie that you did, Thor Love and Thunder, was, in my opinion, a colossal flop. Sure, it was horrible. Yes, we had Chris Hemsworth, who's an original Avenger. But when you take away everything that's good about that movie and it's some kind of clown fest, it doesn't matter how many different special effects you have, it's not going to work. So when you hear these artists coming out and saying that they refuse to work on a Marvel project, one actually called it the 7th level of hell. What is that saying? And you all clearly don't do anything. You're not doing it. You have people with stress unrealistic deadlines because you just want to make money and you're not putting out anything quality at all. It's disappointing, it's sad, it's ridiculous, but this is what Marvel, or should I say the MCU is, because Marvel Comics ain't no better. But this is what the MCU is. They made billions of dollars from their original MCU project with the Avengers and all of this thing leading up to it. Now they have no clue what they're doing going forward, and they're just making a bunch of unrealistic nonsense with characters nobody wants, and figure, well, okay, people are going to watch this because it's have Marvel name on it, and let's stress out and overwork these people. People are going to be leaving, and I'm sure this is not going to be the last you're going to hear of it. You're going to start to hear more and more things coming on of people being sick and tired of Marvel and their nonsense. The MCU movies and the MCU itself, Phase 4 MCU has been a total disaster and it's just getting worse. So these VFX artists and them may very well likely walk and never come back, and then, you know, that's going to be a different thing, and then Disney going to take the normal stance of blaming everybody but themselves. Disney / Marvel, new moniker, blame everybody else except us. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video, and I shall see you all next time. Take care.